everybody, it's Ailey. Welcome back to another curveball, RKO out of nowhere, random some might say, bonus maybe, video. This is something a little bit different. It's not Mass Effect, it's not BioShock, it's not Cyberpunk. It is What Remains of Edith Finch. So I was feeling today, I kind of just wanted to do something really chilled, play a game that requires a lot of exploring, and just basically can have a little wander, not do anything too strenuous. So I wanted to play something a little bit more relaxed for you. I hope that's okay. In stark contrast to BioShock and Mass Effect. Now, I have played this game before, so it's not a first playthrough, it's not a blind playthrough, but I'll be 100% honest with you. I remember very, very little of the game. So as far as I can recall, I played it in 2017, which was when it first came out. So that was a good 4 years ago. If you watch my other videos, you will know firsthand that my memory is shocking. So yeah, 4 years to me is like 40 years for the average human being. So I don't remember a lot. I do remember like bits and pieces, but not enough for me to like know where I'm going and know little nooks and crannies and things. I've totally no idea. So I thought this would be a good choice just for a little bit of a chill session. The idea is that you don't have to pay full attention to this. But I suppose if you don't pay full attention to my videos anyway, I wouldn't fucking blame you. But yeah, so if while I'm playing this is kind of designed for like, I guess like a kind of comfort watch, or you know, a chilled watch if you're doing something. This is maybe good to have in the background. My chirpy little voice talking at you. If that's what you're into, man, I totally understand. Oftentimes, oh my god, I sound like I've swallowed a dictionary, but anyway. But yeah, I very often, my favourite Let's Players or YouTube gamers, whatever you want to call them, very often when I'm like tidying my room or doing uni stuff or, you know, training that I'm doing at the moment, I very often put my favourite gals and guys on in the background. It's a little bit of comfort. I just find it really nice to have someone just like playing a game you really like, or a game you haven't played before but you've always wanted to play. It's just nice to have that background noise, and I guess like if you have watched me before, it's kind of like a familiar voice, or a friend maybe, if I can call myself that to you. But yeah, you know what I mean, hopefully. You know where I'm coming from when I say that. It's just nice to have that background chatter sometimes. So yeah, there you go. There's my reasoning. So yeah, I think it'll be a really nice change of pace for this channel. I can't really remember how long it took me last time. I think it was a good few hours. And my plan is for this one, if this sit down playthrough I'm doing just now is longer than say maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours, I will play again tomorrow and finish the game off, and I'll release parts 1 and parts 2 together, so you don't have to wait for ages for me to upload it. So there you go. I'm so organised, man, aren't I? Don't get used to it. Alrighty then, so without further ado, let's crack on. On a boat, Mother Hubbard. Awesome, let's look around. Okay, maybe not. See, I told you my memory is shocking. Edith Finch. Okay.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Ooh! I remember when I played this initially, I didn't know anything about the game. I thought maybe it was going to be like a horror game, because when you're standing here looking at that big thing and you're in the woods, you're thinking something's not quite right here. It's a bit ominous, but it's not a horror game. Rest assured, if it was a horror game, I would not be playing it.
Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, we're not going this way anyway. I'm missing...
My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
Missing Milton Finch. Date missing October 23rd, 2003. Date of birth 19th of May, 1992. Oh, that's the day after my birthday. Fun fact. I can't read that. Orcas Island. Yeah, Orcas Island. W, is that Washington? Age of disappearance 11. Height 4'6". Oh. Okay, let's go onwards then. For this ominous looking forest. To the big ominous looking house.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Very green and leafy. Yeah, Ailey. It's fucking woodland. Of course it is. Jeez, oh. Oh.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Yikes. Can we look at the bills? No? Okay, guess not. And a paper. Orcas Island Gazette. I really like that the mailbox is like the house over there. Where is it? Oh, where is it? I've lost it. Over there. You can't really see it very clearly, but we'll see it soon. I think it's really cute. Cool. Right. No
I
trespassing.
hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
That's cool with the letters. All scattering.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Well, that's really helpful. Thanks, Mum.
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Well, I suppose she was right, eh? The Finches. What a beautiful place to live, eh? I mean, it is a little bit creepy and whatnot, but I just love the woods. I love the outdoors, I love nature, and I love... this would be paradise for me, living somewhere like this. No neighbours anywhere. No human beings. Oh, yes. Give it to me.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
That'd be deer then. Yeah. Oh! A stag. I don't really want to scare it, but I kind of need to get past there, mate, so... Well, we'll just have to... Oh well. This gal has got balls, man, hasn't she? Coming here all by herself.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
Here it is.
But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Oh. Look at it. It's like house on house on house on house. There's something really creepy about it, isn't there? I mean, it's beautiful, but it's very, very, I don't know, haunting is maybe the word.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Car. Or the van, I guess, yeah. Here are the frogs. Ribbit. We'll go this way first. See if there's anything worth exploring.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent.
I don't know, I guess I feel like
As
it's
if
kind of...
they're about to say something but never do.
I was going to say it's more peaceful, I would say, than anything. Over the little bridge. Anything worth checking out here? There's lots of missing posters. Oh, can't go any further. Oh, can. Sorry. Can we go any further? Oh, waterfall. Oh my god, I thought there was a person there. It's just a little housey post box that we saw earlier. Is there really anything to see here? Getting kind of doubtful. Over here. Okay, we'll just head back, I think. I think I'm just finding absolutely diddly squat. Oh, okay. Oops. Missed the bridge. Wheelbarrow. Okay, we'll go up and check out the house now. The big scary house. It's very looming. Did you guys live
As
in
a
a house like
child,
that?
the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Not entirely surprised. Oh. Imagine you had that big old house to yourself. I don't think I'd be living in that. Right, so we clearly can't get through here, so we will... Oh, wind chimes. Just to add to the creepy factor that's already there.
I heard something moving around in the garage.
Oh no. She's very calm. I'd be shitting myself. I'd be getting the first book back. Chairs are all tipped over.
I asked
Oh.
Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband. I was 6. It seemed like an odd joke to me even then.
The dragon in the pond. Very strange, isn't it? Very strange. Okay, I better look it up here. I love dragons, but that one's a little bit creepy for my... a bit too creepy for my liking. Alright. Into the big fucking creepy ass house. Gary's potting mix. Okay.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Look inside.
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Looks pleasant enough in there. No fucking zombies or monsters or serial killers or... We'll try the side door, I think, yeah. I don't see how else we could possibly get in here. Oh.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
The doggy door. Also, I'm sorry if you hear any strange shouting or noises or anything in the background of this. I'll try my best to, like, edit it out or whatever, but it's the Euros tonight and I live in Glasgow, like, almost the city centre of Glasgow. So, there's just people everywhere and there's BAM shouting outside and just, oh, it's just so noisy. So I do apologise for any noise you might hear. I have the window open because it's hot as fuck in here, so yeah, I'm sorry if you do hear anything. A little creaking going on. Light? Wait, light on?
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Okay. Really helpful. I mean, it's light enough, isn't it? But I dare say that the power has been turned off, and that probably means that every light is off in the whole house, so when it gets dark... Right, let's have a little nosy. Like cleaning products by the looks of things. Paint. Paint and cleaning things. And Gary's potting mix. And books. What is that in there? It's a can of something. Another car. The bike. Sorry, I won't just I won't just point out the obvious to you constantly. I'm just like, oh look, oh look, oh look, oh hey, what's that? There's that. Ugh. I'm just sort of like telling myself aloud what these things are. What is that? What is that? No idea what that is. Weird. Little workbench. Oh, a paddling pool. That's cute. Look at all the little animals. Yeah, I guess there's not much else to interact with in here, by the looks of things. So we'll go upstairs.
For the first time in years,
Go on.
I felt like I was home.
January 2010. Oh, look at the coat hook. Oh, fuck. The coat hook. So we've got Edie, Dawn, Lewis, Milton, and Edith. Oh. It's a lovely big house, isn't it? The kitchen's so nice. I love the blue.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Oh. Is that blue? Or is it just my eyes? It's maybe white. Yeah, it's like that fucking dress. Remember the gold? Is this dress gold or white or red or yellow or blue or? And it went viral. Do you remember that? That was mad. The stripy dress, if you can recall. But yeah, I've always wanted a big farmhouse kitchen like this. It's one of my dreams because I love to cook and I love to, you know, I love big open kitchens. I think they're just so homely and cozy, and think of all the nice things you can make. And I'm so wholesome, aren't I? I'm so wholesome. I'm not swearing like a sailor. Oh, Chinese food.
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Let's put them in the mood for some Chinese food, to be honest. Alright, so we got more cookbooks. In loving memory of Lewis Finch, December 27th, 1988 to November 21st, 2010. Beloved brother, son, great-grandson. Oh, the picture. Dawn, Edith, Edie, and Lewis. Oh, that's cute. Mm. A lot of cans of whatever that is. Sardines, is that?
Or how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon.
Oh, salmon.
Except our cat, Molly.
I don't know my fish very well, I do apologise. I'm not really a fishy person, I don't even like to eat it, I hate fish. Apple pie! Oh, and it even gives you a recipe, man. Oh, yes. Yes. Right, what else we got? What else we got? I love wine bottles. Unopened wine bottles by the looks of things. Some of them, at least, yeah. Where should we go next? We'll go through here. Lots of books as well. Oh man, it's a mess in here.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Oh. Yeah, there's stuff. Plates smashed and wine.
It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Yeah, it's a really good description actually. It does look like that, doesn't it? I'm wondering about all the books everywhere. Oh, there's the garage again. And more Chinese food. They love their Chinese food.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Okay. Tidier in here.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Look at that beautiful view. Oh, stunning. This is a cozy room. Got a little knitting basket and fucking books everywhere.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house after it sank.
Oh. Oh, the words have gone up the fireplace. That's really cool. I like that. Sorry. I sounded so insincere there. I was being sincere. Right, and to the next room. Check this box out. Barbara.
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Aww. That was nice. Barbara Finch. Oh, so she was a movie star by the looks of things. Oh, that's a nice photo. Oh, no, not so nice. Oh. A cello. Been in there. What is that? A bomb? Oh, those little things are just, what do you call them? Oh, like, lining a box to stop things from breaking? Like little polystyrene things.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Oh. That must be so hard. Can only imagine. Yeah, we've been in here, haven't we? Yeah. So, I guess we'll go upstairs then. We can go downstairs, but I think I'll go upstairs first and then come back.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Look at all our mail. Look for it.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Oh, yikes. It's very morbid. Right, so we can't go in there then. So far. We'll go upstairs. Oh, nice pictures. Oh, that's a nice picture. Oh, the dog. And an otter. I love otters. Oh.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Alright, Edie. Calm down, you. Right, where shall we go first? Shall we go this way? Or this way? We'll go this way. Yeah, go in here.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Oh, it's so cool in here. That must be the old house. All the sharks. Oh, wow. I would love to have free reign to paint a wall like this. Right, so I guess we'll just see what this is then.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Chapter 1, Our Runaway Reap.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Little tea set.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Oh, that's so nice.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Saving, right. Something's about to happen then, I feel.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
Molly.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Oh my god, look at that. That's so cool. I don't think the gerbil's alive anymore, though. I get the feeling that he's not around anymore. And the rest of the family.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Oh, starfish. What an incredible view to have at your window, though. Oh, it's so nice. Oh, she got bugs in jars. There she is, Molly.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Okay, so it says Molly 1937 to 1947. Oh yeah, look at that drawing. So Molly on the right in a castle, like a princess, I guess. And then some dragony, serpenty thing, and then Daddy. Yeah, that's what Edie said, wasn't it? That the dragon killed her dad, or killed her husband. Oh. We'll check that out in a minute. Go through here. Nope. Alright, so we'll read the little book then.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
No. Gerbil fizz. Should we eat the gerbil
The
fizz?
gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Oh no. Don't eat the gerbil food. What's in here? A pumpkin.
My Halloween candy was all gone. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Oh, she locked her in. That is really bad parenting. Locking her in her bedroom. go through here. Oh no, don't eat the toothpaste.
I kept eating and eating.
No. Oh.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Oh no. Is that imitation berry she's eating? Oh no, don't eat that. Jeez.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly,
oh,
I was a cat.
Alright, well, you gotta follow the bird then.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Oh! Where's it going? Oh, there we are.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Are they in there? Oh yeah, I see them. They're very unmoving. Oh. There's a little bird going. There it is. Okay, so we'll go. Oh, jump here, up there, up this way, up this way. Ah.
I jumped and I almost got her.
I don't really want the bird to get hurt though. Oh, what's this? Can I go up there? Jump on the chairs maybe? No. There's a little bird gone now.
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Oh, it's on the table.
I could tell she was getting really tired.
Okay, up this way.
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling the grass.
I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Maybe catching a mouse or something?
Rabbits.
Rabbits. Oh, there.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Oh, yikes. Something bigger? A rabbit?
A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Oh. Right. Not sure where else is going, but play along.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
What am I looking for now?
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Oh. There's a bird again.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Oh, okay, under here.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
What is going on?
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
How do we get in there?
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
I'm not sure what's going on, really. I can't even remember what the outcome of this is. Oh no, the toilet. We're back in her room again then.
I got closer and closer.
This way? Oh, maybe out the door. Oh, my stomach.
All of my stomach started growling.
All my stomachs.
And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Oh.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Man, that was pretty trippy. Alright. Cool. Interesting. Cat? Did you hear that? Oh yeah, cat. Where did he go? Hang on, are we done in here? I can't go back in. Alright.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
The cat's named after that Molly.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Hell of a lot of bird cages. Lurpy. Purply. This one called Zerpy. Sensing a pattern here. Derpy. Like herp derp. Herper derp. And Bob. Or why Bob got a different, he strayed from the, looks like a snake, doesn't he?
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Oh.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Is that her brother then, Lewis? I don't know, I'm just assuming, like I say, I can't really remember, but... Oh. My sewing machine. 1988 to 2010. So he was 22. Yeah.
Her room was like a museum.
Odin. Joining the great majority. The mysteries of death and thereafter. Oh, it was like a little dwarf. Or a fisherman? Yeah. I was thinking of like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Then it probably isn't anything to do with that. Sven and Edie. Can't go through there. Okay. An oxygen tank. Looks of things. Near pills. A lot of pills. Mole man beneath the Finch house.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Edie sounds a bit of an eccentric woman, don't she?
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Edith Jr.'s lake trip. Conspiracy night, Weird America, home movies, my friend Bigfoot, random junk. Molly concepts, mural sketches. Oh, Edie won't go. 72-year-old woman refuses to evacuate because of a little forest fire.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Oh, so there must have been other people who live here then, not just this one house. I always assumed there was just them, but there must have been like a neighbourhood, or there must have been like neighbouring houses somewhere. I'm assuming. Built 1937, Sven Finch.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed.
Ah, okay.
She could have, but she didn't.
That makes more sense. Sad. What does this say? Norwegian folk tales. Oh my god, I can't speak. Let me go through here.
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Oh, look at this floor. It's cool carpet. That's weird. Is that supposed to be a mirror? A mirrorless mirror.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Oh, okay.
It was a pretty big trace.
Okay, that's another book, so I'm assuming that'll tell us another little adventure / story. It will go back out. Because there was something else in here. Yes.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
Oh.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Oh.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
Okay, so baby Molly, that must be Edie's great auntie then. Or Edith's great auntie.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Yeah, 1880 to 1937. Okay, so we'll go through the little room then, or the bathroom. And check out the book slash diary slash There's a Secret in This Bathroom by Sven and Edith Finch.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Oh. Oh, cool. What is this, little hidey hole?
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Calvin Finch. Murder probe clues exhausted. Oh, murder probe. Go down here. See what's happening. Oh. What is through here? Oh. This is a cool bedroom. Oh, it's split in half, like spacey, and also I guess maybe you could say like military, Wild West maybe, woodlandy, a mix of all three. Like a ranger. It's very like Firewatch, isn't it? If you played Firewatch, it's a great game. God, so much to look at. Where do we start? So we can't go through here just now. What's up there? Command center. Fort Calvin. Oh. It's really inventive, isn't it? It's very creative. I would love the bedroom like this as a kid.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
Oh. Calvin, I guess. Look at this side and then we'll go through the door. Cigarettes. You look very young. Captured. United States Marine Corps certificate of, I can't read it. Certificate of, oh, I can't read that. Keep, I can't read that. Oh, sorry. Oh, that's a nice picture. Okay, we'll go through here. Sorry, I've been saying that a lot. I've got a thing for nice pictures, obviously.
And that he never talked about him.
Oh, okay, so one of the boys must have died, or Calvin must have died way younger than Sam did. Or like before Sam. So maybe these cigarettes were from him when he was older. And he still slept in this bedroom. Let's see, Samuel Finch. Yeah, high school, okay, so that makes sense. We can go through here now to the command center. Oh, this is so cool.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Oh. Oh, it's like a little shrine. Oh man, this game is so sad, isn't it? I love death.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Oh, we're in swing, okay.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Oh.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
That's heartbreaking, isn't it?
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Ugh. It's really sad. I think like if you've got brothers and sisters, it's even more heartbreaking because you think about like I've got a brother and a sister. I'm thinking if that was my little brother. Oh my god, I'd be devastated. Or my little sister, but because thinking of like ages and how that's a little boy, it resonates more, you know.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
God, I feel a bit emotional after that actually. I feel a bit like, oh my god, that's horrific. It's so sad.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Oh. Another secret passageway. A creepy pumpkin.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Oh. What is that? Something melting. Oh my god, that big thing there gave me a fright. Bigfoot. Nothing.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Barbara Finch. Oh, it's just a dress. I thought it was some sort of doll or something really weird, but it's just a dress. Oh. That must be maybe our fan mail? Seattle Starlets.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Happy birthday, Barbara. More cigarettes. So they must be older than I'm thinking. I'm thinking in my head they're all kids. That beers. Yeah, they're 1944 to 1960. So she was 16 when she died. Oh my god, that's so young.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Dreadful stories.
Old Jack here with another
Ooh.
ghastly tale inspired
voice.
by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room.
Oh.
So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums and Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
Oh, here we go.
She reached for the music box.
Oh, it's our turn now. Interactive.
And
Oh,
as
cool.
she
It's like
found
pop
the
art.
key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Oh, do I want to go down here?
around Rick's crutch
What there?
and imagine the worst.
God. Alright. This is cool, like the art is comic book style. Follow the handprint? The bloody handprint?
The gang's leader is
God,
the
look at
infamous
that.
Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Oh my god. Look at this fucking thing. Ugh. Where? Ah. Oh! Missed it.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Oh.
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Oh no, what's up there? Oh. What is that? Oh, it's a chair. One of those little egg chairs. Right, upstairs. What the fuck? Where is he? Going this way.
Walter, are you there?
Oh god.
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barb returned, saw the hookman, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And wherever he was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Oh my god, that's
Okay,
terrifying.
Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
Yeah, it's right here.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Where's she now?
She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it.
Through the bathroom? No. Through this Molly's? Through this door?
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Whack 'em.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Meanwhile, where the hell is Walter? He's vanished.
vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
No. Did you really answer the door though? Like, would you?
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time.
Oh, there he was.
All pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Oh.
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Oh. Yikes.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Yeah. Okay. So how's Barbara then? Where to now? Back through that hole in the floor.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Alright, so we're back on the landing then. Wait, have we been up here? Yeah, we have. Have we? Yeah, this is where we kind of like started when we went up the stairs, so that's fine.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Upstairs again? Should we? Yeah.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Of course. Okay, so where should we try next? So have we been...
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Oh yeah, the basement key. Maybe the basement is where we need to go next. Because we've been to these rooms.
My Grandpa
Yeah.
Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Oh. That's a horrible way to put it, isn't it? It's really sad. Gregory.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Not quite. Would be cool though. To have the secret passages at least.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Alright, so we'll go down this way then. Maybe we have to check out the music box though. because I have a feeling... Yeah, we've seen everything here.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Okay, so we've seen all the rooms on this level. So we'll head back downstairs. Yeah. Wait till we check. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do a couple more people and then I think I'll leave it here. But I'll film part 2 tomorrow. So, like I say, I'll upload them both together so you don't have to wait. Because I'm just that great, you know? Such a good guy. Going in circles. Not sure where I'm going. Oh yeah, down here. Music box. We'll try again. See if we find the key that we're looking for. There we go. Awesome. Cool. Oh God. The cellars are never good places to be, I suppose you could argue, but we gotta be brave. I'm waiting on it getting dark, actually. It's not something I'm looking forward to be honest with you.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Oh God. Wonder what happened there. Okay, go this way.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Okay.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents. Ooh, it turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Oh wow. That's so neat, isn't it? So nifty and shifty.
I remember
Oh, wow.
asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
So you lived underground then? Alvin Albinos. Extra crispy.
If there's a pattern in all these stories,
Must have lived on all this food then, all these tins. Tasty beans. What is this? Jiggly Farms Concord grape jelly. Sorry, this is really uninteresting stuff I'm focusing on, I'm sorry. I just like the little things in games, you know? Like the food and the little, you know.
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
This is a cool little underground bunker looking thing. Walter. But yeah, everything down here had food, you had books, you had an exercise bike, you had a rug, a couch, a model train. Okay, let's check this out. What are these? Oh, herbs and spices. What's that noise?
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
Oh, 30 years, oh my god.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
I mean, schedules are good to have, but...
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
You get sick of peaches after a while.
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Oh, okay. So we're getting out of here. Maybe. Hopefully. Maybe Walter did make it out alive, one of the only ones who did.
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin.
Oh, pick this up.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun.
Hello, train. Oh my god.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
God, that's awful. Oh. Alright.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me. Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Oh. Okay, they made the totally wrong move there.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
It's fear.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
Go under here.
Trying to bury something that's still alive.
Oh.
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2. I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
That's really tragic, isn't it? Right, I think we will leave it here because, not to leave it on a somber note, but I feel like it's a good halfway point, maybe. Oh god, this music is beautiful. Anyway, sorry, I am getting lost in the music. I think we'll leave it here for now. It seems like a good little halfway point. And I won't do an outro or anything. I will just leave it here, and then I will do part 2 tomorrow and post them both together, so it's quite fluid and continuous and lead nicely onto each other. Okay guys, I'll see you in part 2.